What's up, guys? Can Sarah and Steven still hear me?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, greetings, gamers. HNN podcast is back. Good evening, this is HNN. The Holotable News Network is your not even remotely close to around-the-clock Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes news, reactions, reviews, theory crafting, and more source. I am not Faye34, your host. Sir Georges. Faye could not make it this week. Is he on vacation?
He's on vacation.
Yeah. So he'll be back next time. But in his place, we have our good friend and guest contributor, Darth Stevel. Or Stevel. Stevel, sorry about that.
Ah.
Welcome, Stevel.
Hello and thank you.
And we also have, of course, Celiac Sarah.
Hi, guys.
So we've had a ton of stuff drop in the last 2 weeks. So we have 7 headlines, or roughly 7. We've got General Hux and the new Sith Trooper kits to go over, our thoughts on the Journey Guide, the Hyperdrive Bundle. There was a dev Q&A about a week ago. Grand Arena history has been updated onto swagga.gg. And then a couple other minor notes from the latest update. So first, how about, Steve, would you like to read the Hux kit?
Would I ever? Hang on just a sec.
Have you read it before?
I've read the Hux kit. I have not read the developer insight.
Ooh.
I have skimmed the Hux kit. It'll take me just a second to actually pull up the Hux kit. I'm trying to channel my inner celiac Sarah, okay?
Okay.
I realize that I'm here in place of Fee, but that's not how my brain worked.
I like these 2 new characters. It's about time we got some new First Order.
First Order was way overdue for something exciting to happen. No question.
I have some thoughts about Hux already.
Okay.
Not related to it.
You haven't read the kit yet, but you have thoughts.
I have the kit, but I have thoughts.
I have thoughts.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm stepping on your toes with this, Sarah.
No, go for it.
All right. Hux Basic. Commanding a Shot. Deal special damage to target enemy. Gain 25% turn meter. If this attack is a critical hit, General Hux gains advantage for 2 turns if he didn't already have it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Basic.
Special number 1. Oppressive Fire. General Hux gains 10% turn meter. If General Hux has advantage, he loses it and dispels all buffs from all enemies, which can't be evaded. Then call all other First Order allies to assist, dealing 25% more damage.
Good move.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's got the potential to really ramp things up.
Mm-hmm.
Special number 2, Devious Scheme. Dispel all debuffs on General Hux and target other First Order ally. Grant that ally a bonus turn. If General Hux has advantage, he loses it and resets all ability cooldowns on target ally.
That's dangerous.
Everything about this kit is pretty dangerous. Leadership, bow to the First Order. Basic attacks of First Order allies deal 50% more damage, which just with the mass assist, I mean, come on.
Whoa.
General Hux gains dominance at the start of encounter and at the end of each of his turns if he didn't already have it, which can't be dispelled or prevented. Dominance expires at the end of the turn whenever General Hux is critically hit. Dominance. Enemies can't counterattack. First Order allies have 100% counter chance and plus 50% critical damage.
So what do you guys think?
And he's got a unique as well.
Oh yeah. Go for it.
Sorry. His unique, Boundless Ambition. General Hux gains advantage for 2 turns at the start of each encounter. While General Hux has advantage, enemies can't gain bonus turn meter.
Oh.
Wow.
That sucks.
That's the Zeta.
That's Hux.
No, I don't like
it. What don't you like?
I don't like the my resistance teams. Oh.
Yeah, exactly. He makes the resistance fall.
No, because Poe tricks him, so like he can't be like that.
I know. It doesn't really make sense with canon, but who knows what the new resistance side of the movie is going to bring. Maybe they'll bring something that says bonus turn meter can't be prevented, even if enemy kits say it can.
Maybe they'll rework Poe.
Just the CG have to keep making me feel bad about my Phasma Zeta. Really? I feel like this is directed at me personally.
Do you like using your Phasma Zeta?
I did before KRU came out, yeah.
What's her Zeta do again?
It
Leadership.
Honestly, I would have to look it up. Yeah, it increases its leadership, and it increases like the counter chance for first order or assist chance for first order allies.
Oh, okay.
Can't be directly hit.
It was huge like the first 3 months I was playing. I think it was my first Zeta or second Zeta.
So, sorry, question.
Yes.
Not to interrupt. I'm only thinking of this because you brought up your Phasma leadership Zeta. Does the dominance thing only apply if Hux is the leader?
Yes.
Ooh, so you can't even really like try and finagle them both together.
Nope. Nothing useful there.
That sucks.
His kit seems like it'll still be useful under other leads. Just the most attractive part, the dominance. It's not fun not being able to use this brand new buff that only this character has if you try to run him with other teams.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that said, we now have a first order mass assist. So that helps the faction out. And it's not just a mass assist where, you know, they do reduced damage. They do more damage from his oppressive fire.
Right. Yeah. Well, and stacked on top of the bonus damage from his leadership. Yeah.
Yes. So that means they'll all be assisting for plus 75% of their normal basic damage. That's pretty good. And Sith Trooper will assist a second time once we get to his kit.
I'll spoil it. Come on.
And he gets rid of all the buffs no matter what. So even if it's like Jedi Knight Revan, all Foresight, and all these different buffs spread around, wipes them all clean, then mass assist.
I don't.
What don't you like? This is good. It's the rise of the First Order.
I don't like it. You know what though? My BB-8's pretty fast, so, and he's R7, so maybe it won't matter.
But he can't gain bonus turn meter, so he'll roll around.
But that's only. Hang on, let me look at this.
He starts the match with advantage, and so then from the start of the match, enemies can't gain bonus turn meter.
So as long as I get rid of advantage on Hux, it's fine.
Yes. But next time Hux takes a turn, let's see, he gets advantage a lot.
Yeah.
I don't want him to get.
Yeah, whenever he uses his basic, he gains advantage. Well, on a critical hit, he gains advantage.
Okay.
So his devious scheme is very much like First Order Officer, except instead of turn meter, it's a bonus turn.
Yeah. So it would be similar though. Okay, so like let's talk classic First Order here. Classic First Order, you go after First Order Officer because that's the train. So you switch to this new team, you're going after Hux to get rid of this
likely
advantage dominance.
Yes.
BS garbage.
You'll definitely want to kill him. I'm curious what having both of them on the team will be like.
Let's not get to that.
Because you could have First Order Officer give Hux advantage in full turn meter. Or, Hux can, let's say Hux is high on cooldowns. He can give turn meter and reset cooldowns of Officer, who will then give it back to Hux, who will then be able to use his Mass Assist special every other turn. Essentially.
I don't know.
With Fox just building and building and building throughout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fox has a strong basic already.
That rapidly builds, and he's going to be pulling him into assist left and right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Sarah.
I'm going to figure out how to beat him with my BB-8.
Don't have the slightest doubt.
You just wait. It's going to happen. I'm saying it right now. I'm going to do it.
I'll be back for another guest spot.
Yeah, I really like the kit, and I think they've got a lot of potential now with him and the new Sith Trooper once we get to him. Because they've all got counter chance, so that now it's not just crew countering, but now Fox will be countering for huge damage. Hux will counter and get 25% on his basic. And preventing enemies from gaining bonus turn meter. Or no, that's what it was. Enemies also can't counterattack. So there might be potential in messing up General Skywalker with First Order using Hux. But it has to be his lead.
Can't counterattack. Man. I'm going to figure it out.
What were you going to say, Steven?
Oh, I was just going to say I'm enjoying the trend this year of the transformational leaderships. The factions just being completely, well, in the last calendar year, I guess I should say, of factions being completely transformed by some new amazing lead.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard people complain about that being lazy, and I disagree. I think it's a lot of fun.
It's a good way to refresh a faction.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yep, and the older characters, they stay good at what they were before, or they've got new potential. Yeah, I like it, and it also helps prevent future power creep, I think, because you're not just having to make all 5 characters super strong. It's all locked behind a leadership. So they might release a new leadership of a stronger character, but it won't mean that this whole team gets elevated into super status, because now you've got to give up the benefits of this leadership.
Very true. Yeah.
So yeah, I think it will help balance things out in the long run. As long as they don't start making too many kits useless on their own. I do wish we had some more plug and play.
Fair.
Okay, sweet.
All right.
Sarah, do you want to go over
Sith Trooper?
Sith Trooper.
Oh, do I ever?
Not the Sith Trooper we all know from the game, who's just this tank that counters and stuff. This is a completely different Sith Trooper.
Okay. Yes, completely different. I don't know why they called him Sith Trooper. It just seems weird. It should be like First Order Trooper.
I can tell you why.
Why?
It's the higher ups at Disney, like with the movie.
Yeah.
People watching the new movie, they have no idea what the Old Republic is. Most of them.
Yeah.
So they didn't want to complicate it. So I know the toy packaging from earlier this year had him named Sith Trooper. So the CG, even though they already had Sith Trooper, they can't diverge from what the rest of the packaging and stuff, advertisements for the character is.
All right. Well, fine. I'll take it. So, this is the new and improved. He basically looks like a stormtrooper who took a bath in blood. Anyway, that's my take of him.
Yeah.
So his basic ability, Sith Strike, deal physical damage to target enemy. If this attack is a critical hit, Sith Trooper gains critical hit immunity for 2 turns. Cool. I guess. If you have to. For special, Vengeant Blast. It is deal physical damage to all enemies. This attack deals 50% more damage for each currently defeated First Order or Sith ally. Huh. So you want your guys to die?
Maybe. It's
Maybe.
I never like characters dying, but if they do have to die, at least yeah, kind of like Grievous. It reminds me of Grievous's when an ally dies. Bonus turn meter, refresh cooldowns.
Right. Okay. I guess.
Or 5 souping everybody up when he goes.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, I was talking about the unique again. Sorry, I forgot you haven't read the kit.
No, I haven't read the kit.
Yeah. Sorry. Okay, it's more like Grievous once you get to the unique and stuff. So I'll just let you keep reading.
Oh, okay. Okay, so its second special, Resurgent Power. Dispel all debuffs on all First Order and Sith allies and grant them advantage for 2 turns. If Sith Trooper already had advantage, he is called to assist. Okay. Wait. What? Dispel all debuffs. What is he assisting? It's his own attack.
Yeah. He's assisting his own non-attacking move.
That's awkwardly phrased.
Yeah, it should just say if he has an advantage, then he does his basic immediately or something. I don't know. I'm assuming he's hitting with his basic and grant them. But this is very strange because the what am I looking for? The animation in the kit is showing him using it on Fox, and Fox is attacking.
Yeah,
I guess he's using it on everyone, but
you're right. I think the animation is just showing him dispelling debuffs, and then it's actually showcasing his unique where he assists when an ally crits. So
this is just strange.
Yeah, the image doesn't help. But
no.
I am okay with the phrasing because they've already done it sometimes with like Ezra. He'll assist another person that he calls to assist.
Yeah, but it's like his attack. He calls someone to attack and then he attacks. Whereas this literally does not talk about attacking at all. It talks about dispelling debuffs and granting them advantage.
Yeah. So
why is Fox attacking? That's all.
I'm sure they have some behind the scenes, like they know what the next meta is and they need to make sure they don't do such and such. Because so for instance, if you use this move against Darth Revan, he won't assist because it's an assist instead of his own attack.
But you're not using it against anybody because it's basically for your own team.
Well, whoever you're targeting, they will get the assist done against them.
I still don't think it's phrased properly, but fine.
Yeah, it's clumsy phrasing, but we all get what they're going for here.
Yeah.
I'm still confused, but maybe his unique will explain it. Emperor's Legacy, which is a Zeta. At the start of battle, Sith Trooper gains advantage for 2 turns if the leader is First Order or Sith. While Sith Trooper has advantage, he has plus 50% critical damage. Whenever another First Order or Sith ally scores a critical hit or stuns an enemy, Sith Trooper is called to assist, limit of once per turn. Whenever another First Order or Sith ally is defeated, the cooldown of Vengeant Blast is reset. Then Sith Trooper gains advantage for 1 turn and takes a bonus turn. That still does not explain why in Resurgent Power you have people attacking.
It's an assist. It's an assist.
But his attack is an assist. It doesn't say anything why one of your other teammates would attack.
Right. The image is incorrect. The little GIF that they show.
The GIF.
Yeah, that does not work like it should.
So that's not how it's supposed to work. It's supposed to be that he just assists if he attacks if he has whatever.
Fox should not be going before him. That's the unique. What the unique is showing with the GIF is that it's assuming that Fox is critical hitting Finn.
Yeah, right.
And then the assist with Sith Trooper.
They just used the wrong. They didn't do that right.
Yeah.
It's very confusing.
But the Sith Trooper is like I want to say better Ahsoka or First Order or Sith team. Because most of the time, you're going to get a crit, whether it's an AoE or First Order with all this advantage. So just about every move, not just specials, will have Sith Trooper assisting.
Well, and he'll be double tapping with advantage with Hux's leadership, or with Hux's mass assist, rather.
Right. So you're basically going to put him with Hux.
Yes.
I would certainly think, yeah.
I'm really glad this is the first like crossover between factions tune we've gotten in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Because since he's Sith in First Order, and none of his moves are
only one.
Right. You can actually pair him with a Sith squad. So that it's not all only canon teams. Like you can imagine, okay, what if we took Darth Vader and gave him a Sith Trooper?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, like his unique is fully First Order or Sith. Like everything is First Order or Sith.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's a good point.
And I'm not going to spoil anything about the new movie that isn't already spoiled in this kit.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know anything about the new movie, but I feel like this kit is hinting stuff by saying Emperor's Legacy and that we have a new Sith Trooper.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And this character pairs really well with Emperor
both.
Palpatine in the game.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I hadn't even thought about that.
Yeah, I was thinking of him too.
Palpatine AoE for stuns.
Yeah. Yep.
And then, with Palpatine, his squad has always needed, the Sith have always needed a good AoE cleanser for the team. Like Thrawn brought some, but he was Empire, so it didn't help a Sith-focused Palpatine squad. And then Thrawn could only cleanse him and one other ally. Now we've got a good cleanse all of our Sith team move.
I like it.
Yeah.
Sort of. As much as I can like. As I can like a First Order.
He's going to destroy the Resistance. BB-8 holds no chance.
I don't think so.
I was trying to find a nicer way to put that, but yeah.
I have hope. And that's what rebellions are built on.
Yeah, he looks like a lot of fun. And he'll work with Hux or not Hux. Should be doing a lot of damage too.
You know what's slightly frustrating is, and nobody's going to care besides me, but he does kind of work under a Zeta Phasma lead as well. Just saying.
Well, you could do something. I'm sure they'll have like some kind of Grand Arena feat thing for you to try, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
No.
There you go. No, not about that life. I'm getting that portrait.
I am very certain you are, yes.
I will say about Hux. So here's the thing I noticed. So we know he was delayed because there was a glitch with his kit or whatever. Then they release it and they have to fix a patch because it is preventing a piece of the gear that was to be equipped at gear 10. And it was glitching, saying that you needed to be 7 stars to equip that gear. That's why they had to release the hotfix. It was gear 10. It wasn't, everyone thought it was because all of a sudden you could gear 12 him at 3 stars. And everyone was like, oh, well, that's the problem. And they never fixed it. So the fact that they haven't fixed that, and they came out tonight and said that they aren't fixing that, they're going to leave it so that you can gear 12 him at 3 stars, tells me two things. The first one being that they should revert that across the board then for all of your characters if they're going to make it for 1, which we know they won't do. But 2, that tells me that Hux is going to be needed and that you need to have him at a power level if they're going to let you gear 12 him.
I'm not so sure about that.
I think he will be.
Anything he's needed for, he'll also be needed at 7-star.
Yeah.
So the letting him be gear 12 without being 7-star, I don't think that would affect whether they decide to use him in a legendary or not.
Maybe. But I still think he's going to be needed.
Yeah, that
Probably.
not patching it felt to me more like a...
Not as a 3-star.
No, yeah. I don't think you would get anywhere with him at 3-star, but like maybe you only need him for a tier 5 of an event at 5-star, but he's tier 12.
Maybe.
I don't know. Not patching it just felt to me like it was going to be too much work for them for something not incredibly important, to be honest. So, yeah, I didn't read any more into it than that.
Well, I do like that they have done this. I don't expect them to go back and change other requirements. But if they are experimenting or seeing how players feel about them not barring gear 12 by having to be 7-star, I think that'd be really good. Because potentially, couldn't Hux get to gear 13?
Potentially.
At 3-star? Because none of the gear 13 has built in, like, must be 7-star. Because that only happens at the gear 12.
No, I think you could potentially do that.
This might have just been like a mistake, or Hux's gear that they wanted to fine tune just didn't work out the way they needed. But it'd be great if they didn't bar everybody from relics or gear 13 from because of the star level. Because I was automatically going to snooze both of these new characters, even though I like them.
Right.
I'm not going to be getting him to 7-star in the next 6 months.
No.
So why even waste any gear on him or anything?
Yeah,
but now you can get him to gear 12.
Yeah, now that I can get to gear 12, might actually be useful in TW or Grand Arena. Like, don't get me started on how useless a 6-star General Skywalker is.
Knew you were going to say him. I don't know. My spidey senses have been tingling.
Okay. We will see.
We'll see.
Next in our headlines, the Journey Guide finally came out with the new update.
Boo.
I'm not sure that the Journey Guide is needed for any of us, but we can look at it and replay old events now with the Journey Guide. And it's very slick and does really help you see what you need for events better than before. And it's not just legendaries, but the TB tunes and TW tunes, raid tunes. It'll show you how to get them. Also provide some good synergy teams. So what do you guys think?
I love it.
You love it?
I was kind of surprised. I was kind of surprised at the boo from you, actually.
I just find that it's like, I don't know. I don't like the interface.
Okay. I've had the interface isn't great. I'll grant you that. Yeah. But I've had a lot of fun replaying, my CLS. Somehow or other, I got 1 star on the first tier of the CLS event, which I'm sure I played, when I've been playing for 4 months and could just barely get past those really brutal Tuscans. Going back and 3-starring that was fun. Getting to play through all this stuff again was fun. It's bringing back fond memories. And you've got your suspicions about Hux and G12.
Yeah.
I wonder if this doesn't open the door a little bit to a little bit more of a sandbox mode, because this is unlimitedly playable content.
True.
In fact, in a way, if you're willing to be really not particular about teams, this is a sandbox mode.
True.
Kind of. It's like half of a sandbox mode.
I'm not saying it's perfect, but I'm saying it's a opening of a door. They have now demonstrated that they can make a sandbox mode.
You can run any team you want at any time. In this.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah.
True.
So I love it. I've been having a great time with it.
I'll probably play around with it when I'm like bored at work and I have nothing to do for 7 hours. So, I mean, that's good. But I will say I already went in because you can see the new Galactic Legend characters. They've got their placeholders there already built for them. And they already tell you the first character that is needed for each of them. And I went through and I counted how many blank spaces there were. And then I went and I counted how many characters and ships are tagged First Order and how many are tagged Resistance. And there are 15 characters or ships needed for each of the Galactic Legends coming. And there are only 14 of each tagged for characters and ships total.
Say that one more time.
So there are 15, if you're looking at Rey's Galactic Legend, there are 15 spots, including Jedi Training Rey. So you have her shown, and then you have 14 question marks. But if you count all of your Resistance characters and all of your Resistance ships, there are only 14. And then the same thing for First Order, including Hux and the new Sith Trooper, there's only 14. So you're going to need something else, which makes me think you're going to need the smugglers for Rey.
That's a good point.
Because nobody has
Entirely
touched.
Possible.
No one has touched those smugglers since you got Jedi Training Rey, because nobody wanted to touch them in the first point.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure that we even need 15 characters. Sure, there's 15 blanks there.
Yeah.
But that just might be placeholder.
So that's what I thought. And then I went through and I looked at all of the other ones and I was like, well, all the other ones show all of the possible characters. Mm-hmm. So maybe they're going to release other stuff. I don't know.
They may release other stuff, but you may not need all of it. I mean,
you might not.
Like the Malak event shows all of your possible Malak tunes.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But then you also have like a General Skywalker event where you needed very specific tunes.
Right.
So I don't know. It's just got my wheels are spinning in my brain. There's a little hamster running up there and there's smoke coming out. But
maybe this might be the event where there's 15 possible tunes. We only need 3 of them at 5 stars to unlock. This could be the bone that we get thrown over the holidays. Let's be optimistic. 3 tunes at 5 stars, any of these 15. This could be
3
minimum of like 3,000 GP.
3?
I'm spinning a very happy little world for myself. Okay.
That's not even a full squad.
The legendary events are full of non-full squad.
I think
in CLS you've got 3 tunes like the whole way through.
But altogether, you still need.
But you still needed like 5.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, because I meant for this to be very serious.
I know. That's just my little like squirrely brain here is just spinning like crazy.
I think it will need 15 units. I don't think that it'll necessarily be all 15 of that faction.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And then I was also thinking, I don't think they're going to be nice. I don't think they're going to make them cross over.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
I think
for sure.
Like they're going to all be completely separate.
For sure.
Yeah.
The fact
because you're not going to get both with the same people.
For sure. The fact that they've got 2 Galactic Legends from the same movie, the same time period, same group of characters, and Rey uses her legendary Rey, and Kylo uses his most recent version of Kylo. I am going to think that the Kylo Ren one will be all dark side.
Yeah.
The Rey one will be all light side. Probably, my guess, 5 tunes from each, 4 or 5 tunes from each are going to be ones that aren't released yet.
You think so?
Yeah. So Hux and Sith Trooper for sure.
Yeah.
Probably at least 2 other ships or tunes from the new movie.
So then, how long? If you were to guess from the time of the last character that they release or ship in game, how long after that until we see the start of the Galactic Legend?
Immediately.
Oh, come on!
I think
No time to
I think that they will. It's the new system that they.
Yeah.
Someone made a joke about it on Reddit, but I saw some truth in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they've got all these legendaries available right away, right now.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as they release the last marquee needed for one of these galactic legends,
Mm-hmm.
they can immediately make the event live so that people who whale out immediately can play it immediately.
Play it.
So
Yeah.
sure, the rest of us might need to wait 3 months before they become farmable, and then another 3 before we get them free to play at 7-star. But for those that want to whale out right away, they can get a 6-month head start on a new meta. And this will bring lots of new money. Because it's not just panic farm then to get the characters ready for an event. It's panic farm the immediate marquees so that you get to choose
but there's
how soon you want to play these characters.
I mean, there's a couple big suppositions in there, though.
Okay.
We don't know how rapidly the new legendaries will come into the journey guide.
They said
there's no precedent for that.
Right. They said, I don't remember where, but that after a year, legendaries will go into the journey guide.
I do remember reading that too.
So new ones won't immediately be in there. It'll still have like a 4-month gap between them.
Yeah.
But after
they'll
a year,
follow like the cadence, and then it'll make its way in there, and you can do it whenever you want.
But these are different. These are Galactic Legends.
But it's the same idea where now also not only are you whaling to star them, you're whaling to gear them.
Mm-hmm.
So you're blowing tons of crystals because you're going to be refreshing the store for gear that you don't see or that you don't, right? Like you're going to be going through tons.
Yeah. Well, and I'm just assuming that the power level for these will require relics.
Yeah.
Now that relics are in game, the difficulty is going to go through the roof again on legendaries, and
R7 BB8
could be.
I'm ready for it.
Will absolutely carry you. Yes.
Yeah. Totally.
Hey, as long as he survives, you can always do his Illuminated Destiny.
Exactly. He's not so squishy at R7.
And doesn't Rey and Kylo look really cool in these Galactic Legend versions?
Yeah. I will say, like, I'm not a huge fan of the interface of it, but I do like how they have it laid out.
You don't like the interface?
I don't like the interface. What? I was like clicking through it and I'm like, I don't want to read a summary about, like, I don't care about this. I'm gonna read this when I unlock them and go through his kit. I don't care. Just tell me what I need to do. Let me do it.
Well, and getting to actually playing the event isn't intuitive.
Yeah.
I had to mess around with it a little bit before I found the actual event under each character.
See, I didn't even. I was just like going through. I'm like, you got like a summary and like I don't know.
I agree.
I didn't like it.
I click on TB and it won't let me do it.
So, and that's the other thing. Actually, I don't like that they have, but I don't like that they don't have that they have the TB characters in there.
What?
I don't like that. Like, why? You're not going to be able to. Are you going to be able to do the IPD event or the Rolo event if TB is not happening?
What they did was they made it, which is a great move by them, so that every single character in your inventory,
right,
when you click on find, it'll take you somewhere. Whereas before legendaries, it would just say no active locations.
Yeah.
Right.
But now, no matter what character you see in your inventory, these timed events, which include raids and TBs, now you have somewhere that it'll show you how you can get them and what you need to do to get it.
Yeah, still don't like it.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but
if you clicked find on Han Solo, it showed you the Rancor raid. You just couldn't do it unless it was active.
But yes, but now what's good about the journey guide is when something is not active, you still know that this is how you get that character.
Yeah, but I don't like that. Because you can't do it. You still can't, because the idea is like if I click on find and I see the event, that to me in my brain, I'm like, cool, it's active. Let's go. Like, let me play. I can't play it. It's a tease, and I don't like it.
No.
I would like to see different like sections of the guide for event and non-event tunes. Just a visual division between the two.
Yeah, like they would have like
have all the information present, but
have like your guild event tunes and your
sure.
Because then you need your guild to do this one. You can't do it by yourself.
Okay, you guys can have that opinion. But I love that I can click on Rebel Officer Leia Organa, and it'll say that under activity, she's found in the Hoth Rebel Assault Territory Battle. It's currently not available, but whenever I see Hoth Rebel Assault Territory Battle in my guild event screen, I know, hey, that's where I can get Rebel Officer Leia Organa. And even though the TB isn't up right now, so I can't go and look at each of the zones or the required characters for this specific mission, here it'll tell me recommended or required characters for this mission who I need. This is a big step up for players that don't want to go online and have to search on Reddit or like fan-made stuff in order to find this info.
You're the exact opposite of me, because in my head when you're saying that, my immediate thought is like, or you can search Reddit, or you can go on Discord.
Just Google it.
Or you could ask your guild officer. Like, I don't know.
Ask him on Discord?
Yeah, or in game chat.
Well, see, no.
Or you could just search it on the forums.
Hey, they put in all of those little chat windows. You can make new direct messages now. Just direct message your guild officer and be like, hey man, what do I need for this? And then he's gonna tell you to get good.
How does he know? How's your guild officer gonna know?
Well, if he's an officer and he doesn't know, you need to be switching guilds.
I know that this is going to help at least 50% of players, the large majority who don't get on Reddit, don't get on the forums, who just play the game because they saw it in the App Store.
Yeah.
And now they actually know how to get these characters. This will help people get to the point where they're so deep into enjoying the game, they'll actually become somebody that gets on Reddit, gets on Discord.
Maybe.
And I'm not entirely sure how having two different sections of the journey guide, just visually separating event tunes from like guild event tunes, would change that. Because that's all I'm advocating here. I'm not entirely sure where this debate is coming in, but yeah. I would like to see that your CLS and JTR and whatnot in one section of the journey guide, and Rolo and IPD, and I'm going blank on the rest, Wampa, in another.
Yeah. Wampa's not on here.
See? I think he should be on there because the other ones are.
Although he's farmable in a store, which I suppose is probably a division. But then how do I know where I get guild event tokens?
Yeah, where do I get?
Yeah.
Why is
I've
there
always
not
been very unclear on where arena tokens come from myself.
See, there should be a journey guide for currencies.
Arena tokens, yeah.
Okay.
This is just the very
points. You guys make good points.
Big rabbit hole.
As a first iteration, I am very pleased with this. Even though it doesn't affect me at all right now. Like, I'm sure the Galactic Legends will eventually.
Mm-hmm.
But the interface is super slick. I'm very pleased. There could be ways it could be better, but I love it.
Yeah. And I will say, having a real life friend who is about 4 months into playing the game, just hit level 85, he's loving this. this is phenomenal for him. So, yeah, my complaints are pretty minor compared to getting the new folks up to speed.
Yeah. And I've got a real life friend who was just saying he got Jedi Knight Revan unlocked, but doesn't know what to run him with. Like, he's throwing General Kenobi, just whatever Jedi he sees. Yet here, it'll tell you want to use synergy-wise all the Galactic Republic, or no, all the Old Republic, Yoda. Juhani's not a good recommendation.
See, I won't trust it.
Yeah.
But
I feel like your friend might be better off if only he knew some famous YouTube theory crafter that he could run questions by.
He does.
For Darth Revan, does it say you should use Sith Assassin?
Oh, good question.
Because that's what they said originally.
Let me check.
Did they just
they do not.
No? Okay.
They've got good synergy for Darth Revan.
Okay. I'll give them that one.
Treya's was iffy. Treya.
What's Treya's?
You know, they've got Nihilus and Scion, which is good. But then they've got Malik, Bastilla, and Palpatine. Sure, I'm sure that they help improve the team, but you're never going to run them with her. Because to get Malik, you have Darth Revan. You're not going to split them up. Yeah.
All right.
I like it. And I like the starry background. It's not just, you know, every single shop or whatever, it'll have the holotable background.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you go to objectives, there's a new starry background. Like you're in outer space instead of a holotable.
Maybe it'll grow on me.
We will see.
Maybe.
Think about it like this. You can now have the thrill of unlocking BB-8 over and over.
I did enjoy that event.
Yeah, every day, just to relieve your stress, you just go and play the.
Apparently, your whole workday can just be playing this game. So, I'm a little jealous.
You don't even know.
Okay, so that was the journey guide. Now, the other new feature that we've all gotten the joy of being able to play that they were advertising is the Hyperdrive Bundle.
Boo!
I love these new features. So the Hyperdrive Bundle is here, and it also is a very high-tech new way to look at stuff you want to buy. It's got the starry background I was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So the Hyperdrive Bundle for $100, you get...
140 in Canada.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
$100 US. You get 1-star capital ships, a bunch of 5-star ships. You get 5-star Gear 8 characters, 65 of them. But they're, for the most part, helpful because it pairs well with the journey guide so that right away you can unlock a 5-star Palpatine, 5-star Thrawn, 5-star Yoda. Because you've got 5 Sith here, 5 bounty hunters, so you should be able to get... Who do bounty hunters unlock?
Chewie.
Chewie. 5 First Order.
And you'll need them for the Millennium Falcon.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's a very helpful Hyperdrive Bundle. It lets you
for
get
new players.
Yes.
Yeah. Although apparently there are a couple different mathematical interpretations floating around. There is an argument being made that I'm seeing that it does make sense to buy versus just buying a vault and buying the gear. You do come out ahead.
Really?
Yeah, apparently. I have not run the numbers myself. I'm trusting people that seem like they know what they're talking about. So that's a good idea.
So I looked at it. I'll be totally transparent. I looked at it because for me and for all of us that are at this level, the reason we're going to buy it is for the gear, right? Like we're not going to, we all have those characters. So I looked at it and I went 15 MK5 guns and 15 cups and 15 carbs. Are you joking?
Yep, I did the same thing. What they should have also advertised better is you unlock a new chain.
Are you talking about the Hyperdrive Bundle, or are you talking about the crystal offers today?
She's talking about the resources.
Maybe it was the crystal offer.
Oh,
That's sorry. Just for clarity's sake.
Good.
Oh, maybe no. You're right. It was the crystal. It was the offer.
I was disappointed when I looked at the gear for the Hyperdrive Bundle.
Let me look at the gear and be disappointed, though.
Sorry. Oh, I don't think it's that bad, but
well,
I know Sir G and I differ on this one. So
for $100.
Okay,
for $100, you get these 8-star characters, which 8-star is kind of trash, and it still takes tons of gear to build them up. Like, it'll be hard to beat some of these events if you even get your characters to 7-star, if they're still only gear 8. I know that the Phoenix themselves, many need 2 stun guns and stuff just to get from gear 8 to gear 9.
So you're not going to do that with this kit?
No, you only get 100 stun guns.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now, the proper one, sorry. And I'm also looking at it and I'm seeing 500 MK4 guns that I have thousands of. Why do I want 500 more? I don't.
Right. So the gear is very lacking in my opinion.
Yeah. And only 10 Zetas. That's not even enough for a full Zeta.
Right.
I would want to be able to throw a Zeta on if I'm buying this. And I can't do that.
Right. But now, for people that do spend, I think someone did the math and it comes out to where it's about like $128 value of gear and crystals, energy, stuff like that. But what they needed to add also was advertise better the new quest chain that comes with it. Because you get a ton of gear and Zeta mats and ship Omegas, everything within this new gear chain or this quest chain.
So, okay, so maybe I misunderstood the quest chain it was giving you. Is it a new quest chain or is it just unlocking?
It is a new quest chain only for Hyperdrive Bundle buyers.
Lame.
Yeah.
Not if you buy the bundle.
Well, I don't want to buy the bundle. The bundle sucks.
I want to say now, I don't know the exact math. I don't know everything that comes with the new quest chain.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's verging more on $150 to $200 value if you were going to use crystals to buy the gear, to buy Omegas and Zeta mats, whatnot.
Am I going to get all these character shards as well that turn into shard shop currency?
No.
See, that is BS. Then I should get a discount.
No. You should. They intentionally made it this weird thing where
that is I would buy it. I would completely 180-degree flip and buy it if I got the shard shop currency.
But it's too much shard shop currency. That's the problem.
Yeah,
that's going to throw the in-game economics off ridiculously.
Okay, but then what's the incentive? What's the incentive
it's not aimed at us. It's aimed at whales and new players.
Oh, okay.
And for both those groups, this makes a lot of sense.
If you're going to spend any money on the game, period.
Yeah.
This should be your one buy.
As a new player.
I think it's even as a veteran. Yeah.
And I don't spend. I don't think they make any good offers. But
so you're telling
everything else, this is probably twice as good.
Okay, so you're telling me that the highlights here, upgrade up to 65 characters, does not apply to me. Upgrade up to 16 ships, does not apply to me. Gear and resources, okay, cool. Activity access, because I get this new whatever. Oh, no, activity access is just giving me all of the light, dark, and cantina battle stages, the challenge stages, and the mod box. That's not for me. Characters, I don't get any of these because I have them all. Ships, also don't get any of them because I have them all. So I am only getting 20 million credits. I don't need 20 million credits. I have over 200 million credits. 10 million fleet credits. I also don't need those. 2,000 crystals, I will take. Sim tickets. I don't need. None of us need sim tickets at this stage. I don't get a full Zeta.
None of that matters.
But like for $140,
the gear.
You were also getting 100 of each cryo.
Yes.
You're getting 100 Mark V stuns.
I get 100 of each cryo. Cool. I can put one piece of cryo gear on somebody now. Thanks.
Well, you can put a couple, but yeah.
So $100 gets
or if I'm working on a gear 12 plus piece, I can put one.
$100 gets you 15,710 crystals. You get 2,000 crystals in this bundle.
Yes.
So that's, I don't know my math exactly, but I want to say 12 to 15% of the cost. So now we're at $88 of everything else. You can't buy Zeta mats. So 10 Zeta mats. Even if you charged just what you charge for Omegas, which I think is 200 crystals.
That sounds right. Yeah.
That's another 12 to 15%.
But why am I going to buy something where half of it I don't get?
Because the
remaining half is still a really good value.
But I want the shard shop currency.
Then start a new account.
And I want a pony. That's not really relevant here, though.
But then I wouldn't get shard shop currency for a new account. Sure. For a new account, if you're going to spend, absolutely.
It is not aimed at us, but I am really surprised to find myself a big fan of this for replenishment, for getting people a good, solid jumpstart on becoming endgame players. It doesn't do what they promise. It doesn't get them endgame guild ready. No argument.
Absolutely does not.
What they would have to charge to make that not insulting to people who have put years into this game, no one would ever buy it. This is a reasonably priced bundle that people will actually buy and get a good, solid footing and be able to move forward. And 6 months after they buy this, be able to moderately contribute to an endgame guild.
Sure.
Does that seem reasonable? It's not aimed at us at all. It's aimed at whales to whom, yes, this is for $100, you're getting way more than $100 worth of value for an endgame player. That's still a big hurdle, and I'm not touching it myself. I'll spend $5 here and there because, I feel like I should throw a little bit of money into the plate.
The high cost. The upfront cost is hard.
Yeah, it's just too much for me. But for new players and for whales, I don't think it's a bad deal at all. I'm annoyed that I'm apparently going to see the ad for it until the end of time, but on the edge of my screen here. But
I think it'll go away after a week or something.
Oh, wow, I hope. I'm already tired of it.
Here's another way to look at it, okay?
It's like
a $600 value for a new player. So this is a great starting on pack to buy for a new player. It's
Absolutely.
like a $200 value for a veteran. Because even though you don't get all the currency, shard shop currency and characters, you miss out on $400 of value. But it's still $200 of value for only $100.
Yeah.
So if you were ever going to spend on gear, if you were ever going to buy a stun gun, buy a Chirotech, this is the thing to buy.
I don't like it.
You get 200 of the Mark III holo projectors, which have become like gold to me since Relics came along.
Mark IV, I think, is what
it's the Mark III. There's 200 of the Mark IIIs are in there, and then there is a pile of the Mark IVs too somewhere.
The comlink is what I appreciate. The Mark IV Chidok comlink. That one is very hard to get.
You also get a ton of challenge gear, which, like, if you're unlocking the challenges, why are you giving me challenge gear? I'm just gonna very quickly stop.
Because you do still have to grind that stuff early in the game, though.
Yeah, but like 500.
And the store currencies, those go straight to shard shop currency for veterans. So that does give you a lot of shard shop currency. It might not be as valuable. You don't get as much. The more you play, the less value this has. But it'll still forever have a great value to it. So if you were ever going to spend money on the game, do it day one. Do it day one.
Yeah.
Because you'll waste time building up these characters when they will just get set to this new 85 level 88 gear 8.
It does take, I do remember it taking 6 months to get to level 85. So you are saving 6 months worth of time.
Yep.
Yeah.
I will say the other thing that will happen with this, because you're getting so many characters at once, you are going to miss out on the, and like I'm a very hands-on learner, so I learned how all of my characters worked and squads worked by playing with them, because, and you unlocked them like slowly, right, and piecemealed and built your roster. Because you're getting so many at once, you're going to miss out on that. So you're going to have like a lot of information given to you at once that you're going to have to decipher, which is totally fine if you like. It's just like a kind of like, hey, like, just so you know, like I learned my roster based off what I have, but you're getting all of this.
Yeah.
No
argument, but they're also 5-star gear 8. You're going to have to put work into them and absolutely to play the characters.
Absolutely, but you are also getting 80 of them right away.
Right.
Fair.
That's my point, is you're getting so many right away.
Right.
So like,
you don't get skill. You don't get skill.
Exactly. That you learn over time, which like maybe depending on what you choose to do, you could focus on specific characters and you could ignore other ones and then just keep going from there. But it sounds like the characters that you are getting are all fairly good characters you're not going to want to ignore. So
yeah.
Okay,
moving on.
Well,
do you have a final comment, Steve?
I was just going to say it pairs nicely with the journey guide. I mean, for new players, I feel like I'm annoyed they keep calling this content. It's not content, but I do feel like they did actually put some legitimate work into it, and I'm not as annoyed now that I see it.
Yeah.
That's all.
And to agree with you, Sarah,
mm-hmm.
as somebody who doesn't spend, this does nothing to motivate me to spend.
It doesn't motivate you.
No. It's probably the most I've considered it,
mm-hmm.
but no. Now, if it was $400 worth,
mm-hmm.
that's flea market. Okay, I'll go to get this and buy it.
If it had more than 100 stun guns and carves in it, I would buy it.
Yes. If it had 400 or 500 stun guns, I'd be considering.
Yeah,
we can all buy it at that point.
They can do it without messing up the economy.
Oh yeah,
you need like 300 stun guns.
I have like 30. I have like 30 people on my
full stun gun.
Yeah.
Not salvage. Yeah.
Yeah, like I have like so many characters right now that are waiting on a stun gun that are just in my favorites. So even if it had 400 stun guns, that's only 8 characters that I could put them on, assuming it's not the same character.
At that gear level. Yeah.
Like some of them want an MK5 gun and then an MK6 gun in the same level.
And that's just one gear level you're getting them up. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
We could form an emotional support group around this exact topic with every single endgame player.
Yeah.
And we could all cry and process together. And
yeah. But I would totally buy it. And then I honestly think you would probably get a lot of newer players buying it too, because then you don't run into that situation with like what Sir G was using the Phoenix squad, for example, where you only can use 2 stun guns now.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Now that brings us to the dev Q&A,
mm-hmm.
where they talk about the gear crunch, but not in a way that any of us appreciate. There's not much to go over with the Q&A, but if you guys see anything, go ahead and mention it. I know that a couple times when people ask about gear, they gave really poor answers, like, what do you mean by easing the gear crunch? Because players are different at different levels, blah, blah, blah.
We added cryos to the daily. What more could you possibly want?
3. Congratulations.
Right.
So every 3 months, you can take 1 new character to Gear 13.
Yeah. That's exactly what I want.
Yeah.
I'm not knocking it. Sure, that helps, but that's not what anybody's talking about with the gear crunch.
No.
Right.
It makes me wonder if they play the game still.
Yeah.
No. I think we can all agree that they probably do not.
Yeah.
At least not at the level that we play it.
I think they might play it, but when they see the gear crunch, they're like, man, this is such a good way to make money. 4 years later, people are still having to spend money on these characters from 4 years ago. This is fantastic. Right? We've done so good. This is genius.
Right? Like, I'm still gearing my Ahsoka.
Yeah.
What?
I've got Phoenix pilots still at gear 8 because I can't get the stun guns for them.
Right. Yeah.
But I'm still playing the game.
I will say this Q&A was very disappointing. More disappointing than usual.
You didn't enjoy all the art questions? Haven't we all been clamoring for more art questions? You did?
No, I did, but that's not what I wanted out of the Q&A. It was interesting stuff. I thought it was interesting. I thought he was an interesting guy that I would like to hear from occasionally, but it hijacked the whole thing.
Yeah.
And when literally the first content question, well, unfortunately, we're out of time. Yeah. Because we just spent 45 minutes talking to the art guy who seems cool.
Yeah.
But
also, it seems like that on our perspective. But each of them have their own computer. They're all answering at the same time. So it's not like one of them had to take time away from another.
And you're getting these questions in advance as well.
Yeah.
As well as live.
No, it was clearly planned out as we have some filler. We're satisfying communication requirements.
By intentionally doing more art questions. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I don't want to knock the first time an art guy comes giving them a lot of questions.
No.
It's just the way they haven't addressed some of the other stuff.
Yeah.
I think that they could have done the art guy still. Like, he could have done his own thing while they were answering the other questions. And then, like, you answer the content questions while he's answering your art questions.
Yeah.
And if you want to stop content questions after an hour, he can keep going because we got all the art questions in the world. Get rid of freaking helmets, please.
Yeah.
No.
Toss them.
We need more helmets. We need more helmets on characters.
You could have all of these sidebar questions. Keep going.
Yeah.
That's not really a timed thing.
Anyone that's ever worn a helmet needs to have that helmet in game.
No.
I'm watching the Star Wars Rebels season 2 right now. And the helmets that they wear when they go undercover or go into outer space and stuff, I want Ezra and Kanan to get those helmets. I want Sabine to have her helmet.
You know what, though? At least they all have different outfits on, so I can still tell them apart. But yes, overall, this Q&A sucked.
Yeah. Yeah, if they want to go that route and have it be completely dominated by something that has nothing to do with the game, great, but have it separate.
Mm-hmm.
This guy clearly had the time to answer all these questions. Why couldn't that have been a sidebar?
Now, one that I enjoyed from Top Hat, who usually doesn't fluff anything up, it's direct and to the point.
Mm-hmm.
What are your personally biggest problems with the game, and are those being fixed?
Oh, I didn't see that one.
He said he'd like to release mini raids and be able to do that with relative speed. What's a mini raid? I don't know. There's a lot of ideas of what that could be. A single player raid? Something with a single player and guild related component? There's so many interesting Star Wars moments. My example internally is Vader in the hallway at the end of Empire Strikes Back, slinging debris at the player that we could put into the game. Why isn't that in there?
I missed that.
Yeah.
I missed that as well.
And he said, why isn't this in-game already? As always, we have to make our call on what's the next best step for the game. My hope is that we're able to scratch this itch in the next year. We're currently trying to figure that out. I would love a single-player raid. Or even make it to where it'll have different, like all the old raid gear in some increment in it, to where you can be great as a player, but in a crappy guild, but still get the raid gear you need because you are succeeding.
Yeah, because you're doing it by yourself.
Right.
Because that is very true, and I have seen this happen repeatedly with players in my guild right now and players in old guilds, wherever, you are only as good as your guild. And you see a lot of players are being held back. And you also see a lot of players that you're like, why are they in this guild when they're so low and they advance so quickly?
Yeah. Like, I can't get Treya unless I can get 49 other people at my level to do the Sith raid.
Yeah, exactly. I did not see that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So with your vision, you would like to see them be able to get shards as well?
You know, I didn't think of that till just now, but maybe. Or maybe introduce a new raid currency where these mini raids you can use to buy raid gear, raid tunes. I don't know. It'd be good.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Even if it's harder on a player, like harder to farm, it'd be good if somebody was capable of playing this game without participating in guild stuff. Because, like, I got sucked into all the guild related stuff, but when I first started playing this, I was never part of any kind of multiplayer game. Never wanted to be part of a team. I just enjoyed getting on when I wanted to and doing the best I could personally. So I know that if I was starting the game today and it was still me from 4 years ago, I would want this kind of mode where I could get the characters without having to invest in Discord, invest in talking all the time with a big guild of 50 people. I'm glad that I have gotten to where I am, but there are many players out there that would enjoy being able to progress, even if at a slower pace, on their own.
Right. Absolutely. And it takes a while to find, like, especially when you're a newer player, it takes a while to find a guild, one that's actually good. Yeah. And to actually find one that you like vibe with, right? Because that's part of it too. You're exactly what you said, especially if you're someone who doesn't want to be part of a guild. You want to find a guild that you gel with.
Yeah. I can see a counter argument though that you don't want to weaken guilds.
Right.
That you want players to have to put that work in. And I'm sure you two also struggled through a couple of really lousy guilds before you found some decent people to play with for a while. And you know, some of my best friends in game are still guys that I played with when we were all in our level 70 or so.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think that would be interesting though.
Yeah. So it could be balanced more to where you weren't required to be in a guild.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how it would work. It'd be hard to balance. Like, some people just like Grand Arena because they get to do it themselves.
Yeah, versus territory war.
Right.
Fair. Yeah.
You can experiment without people getting onto you. You can have freedom to play the game the way you want to.
Yeah.
It'd be cool.
It's interesting.
It would open it up a lot more to people theory crafting or trying to beat a whole mini raid by themselves. So it's not like I'm at a time crunch. My whole guild beats the raid in 2 hours or 1 hour.
Right. And you don't have time to test anything.
Right. Or the guild decides to put a raid on at this time. Whereas this mini raid, maybe it could be like a 24-hour period where everyone around the world can participate in this mini raid.
That's a cool idea.
Yeah. And if nothing else, it would finally be some new playable content.
Yes.
Yeah.
Be something different to do.
Yeah. The other thing that I noted in the Q&A that was the thing that jumped out at me as the most valuable takeaway is that they finally answered the question about the territory battles. They are not making them so that you can choose between light side and dark side every time. It's either light side Geo, light side Hoth, or dark side Geo, dark side Hoth. There's no... And they gave Top Hat gave some spiel about, you know, they have a very specific economy outflow model, and allowing the second TV disrupts that in a way that, as the economy is currently set up, can't handle. That is a load of BS.
Agreed.
Like, just smell it, okay? Like, no. There's no... if you are able to code the game so that I can go in as a guild officer and say if we are doing Hoth or Geo, and then my other guild officer can go in and be like, Sarah, you're drunk today. Why did you choose Hoth? And switch it to Geo. You can easily add the other two options there at the same time. You should easily be able to choose between all four options no matter what.
Well, I don't think they're saying it's a technical issue. I think they're saying it's
it
applying
is
too much currency.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But like, they basically want to bottleneck you, is what they're saying.
Yes.
Yeah.
Without actually saying it that way.
Yes.
Because if you had it, if most guilds had it their way, at our level, they would probably choose Dark Side Geo every single time.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then you're not getting that 1 week bottleneck where you have to do either light side Geo or light side Hoth. And you're getting bottlenecked on currency no matter which way you look at it.
Yeah.
Which really frustrates me because they continue to increase the difficulty of maxing out a character by adding Gear 13 and relics.
Yes.
Needing larger amounts, but then want to keep the economy at the same or about the same.
Yes.
Like, even though we got the HAAT and Sith Raid, where we were still able to do Rancor, and when the Sith Raid came out, still able to do HAAT, and they included some of the gear from the lower ones, it never made it to where we could progress even at a more reasonable rate. Like, imagine if they said, we're not going to do Rancor because you get some chance of stun cuffs and stuff in the HAAT.
Right.
Or we give you 8 salvage of the gold eyeballs in the Sith Raid, so we're going to take away the HAAT.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
That's a very fair point.
It was just, I don't know, maybe I'm being nitpicky lately, but the way that they phrase things leaves a lot left to be desired for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Agreed. The in-game economy answer is trying to cheat at Scrabble.
Yeah.
That's just aiming for a high score for no good purpose.
Yeah. They're playing banker and Monopoly and pocketing some, money for themselves at the same time.
Yeah. Now, there were some good but annoying information given concerning the economy. So they aren't going to double the amount of shards rewarded for Watt or Ki-Adi-Mundi like they did back in the day for the Hoth battles.
So we will never get them.
So it'll take forever to get Ki-Adi-Mundi or Watt finished.
Yeah.
Watt, some of us might have finished quicker because we've done it twice a month. Not going to be nearly the same with Ki-Adi-Mundi, especially with the large requirements, how difficult it'll be to get 50 people in your guild up to that level.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
100%.
They don't plan on adding new farming locations for relic mats, so it'll always be locked behind the Cantina energy.
I don't necessarily have a problem with that. Relics feel a lot easier than most gear levels to me. Most of your upper echelon gear levels.
Your lower gear needed, yes. But getting the relic materials requires you to spend crystals refreshing your Cantina energy each day.
Right.
That's the struggle.
Fair, but yeah.
Because if you did the math, each relic level costs you however many crystals of refreshes to where you're actually not spending less crystals than you would need to get them up a gear level of the actual gear.
Really? Okay.
I'm at a very weird point with my roster where I have all of these characters that I need to take to gear 13 and I'm suffering that gear crunch. So I'm refreshing for gear farming. But I also, with the characters that I do have at gear 13, don't either want to relic them higher or can't relic them higher because they're either at R7 or I don't have the mats or whatever. So it's a very weird spot to be in because I find that I am locked no matter which way I go. I can't relic and I can't gear. And that's like the frustration when you get to this point where you're like, well, I don't have 45 characters at gear 13. I don't even know how many I have, like 9 maybe. So now what?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know, just compared to grinding up a G12 finisher,
yeah,
it feels to me like relics are so dramatically easier.
I agree with that.
How many relic 7s do you have, Steve?
4 or 5.
Okay. How many refreshes of Cantina Energy do you do each day?
Generally 3.
Okay. Were you doing Cantina refreshes before relics?
Yes.
Because you still had
not every day, but most. Yeah.
Okay. I was not. So it's really affecting my economy of crystals because
fair.
Now I have to use it on these relic slicing mats. And it'll forever be needing to refresh crystals to get those.
That's reasonable.
Yeah.
Like that's never going to stop now. I will always need to spend energy getting these signal data.
I'm in that boat too because I didn't refresh beforehand and now I'm refreshing.
Another interesting thing from the Q&A was that they're going to get rid of the drops of 4 and 3 dot mods from the mod challenges. It'll always be 5 dot mods. And I'm thinking that they will do that to the shop as well.
You think so?
That'd be nice.
That would be nice.
It wouldn't make sense to take it out of challenges, but still have these gold 4 dot mods in the shop.
Yeah. I think we are at a point with mods, including people who buy this Hyperdrive bundle because they're going to advance so quickly now, where these 3 and 4 dot mods aren't necessary. Like nobody.
Right.
Yeah.
Why? Why are they even there?
Yeah. So
you can't.
Agreed.
I didn't think they were going to make that change, but I'm glad that they are. Now this is a question that angered a lot of people online.
Mm-hmm.
At one of the recent Q&As, you mentioned a plan to ease up the gear crunch. Was that forgotten? Or is it still being planned? The answer, no, I haven't forgotten and we are planning more. We added Kairos to daily activities completion and TW rewards, reduced the crystal and shard shop cost of Gear 12, and added Gear 12 Plus to shard shop. Reduced the energy cost of ship energy, increased the refresh rate of ship energy, and added Gear 12 Plus to ship nodes. Yes, all that's true, all that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Then he says, actually, my question back is define easing. I hear easing a lot, but it's very subjective. Mathematically, we've eased the gear grind, but that doesn't mean that players actually feel the easing. This isn't being snarky. I'm just genuinely interested in what everyone's definition of easing is to see if I can somehow help that feeling. My quick answer, stun guns.
Yep.
Yeah.
Stun cuffs.
Mm-hmm.
Mark IV Chidot links. You developers have intentionally not made stun guns or Chidot links in the guild or the guild store currency.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wants to use it on the guild event store currency now because we have to save for the next big character there.
Mm-hmm.
And now we have to choose between either Chirotech and finishers or stun guns.
Exactly. That's not a gear crunch. Yeah. That is creating a fork. And now you need to choose which way you want to go.
Yes.
And it doesn't matter which way you choose, because if you choose one, guess what? You can't go up a gear level because you need the other side.
Yes.
Because that is exactly what I just quickly browsed through. I have 29 characters. 29 characters on my favorites list. And all of them are waiting for either a stun gun or Kairos.
Or the gold eyeballs.
Or the gold eyeballs.
So
or both.
Right.
Like
for the Gear 12, the Gear 11 finisher pieces.
Like
those are terrible.
Yeah.
And they're all characters that I need to work on. I'm working on all of them for when General Skywalker comes back because I don't want to get so for instance, I'll just use this as a quick example. Ahsoka, I'm gearing Ahsoka, like I said, and Magna Guard because I need both of them for Skywalker. They both want all of the exact same gear to go up a gear level. So it doesn't matter which one I use, and it doesn't matter which path I choose, because I'm going to have to do it twice now.
Yeah.
And mathematically, it's easier to get to gear 11 than before, or gear 12 than before. But when you add gear 13 and then now need to get characters, all the old gear 12, new gear 12, gear 12 finisher pieces, whereas before you didn't need to get them in order to compete.
And they don't drop when you farm them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, all of my energy, literally all of my energy goes to gear.
Yeah, same. Spending 12 energy should not result in a 0 or a 1 most of the time.
No.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, well, fighting, you're playing endgame content. We're trying to gear up for the light side geo, and we're battling to get enough mid-game gear.
Yeah.
That is the gear crunch. How is this not abundantly clear to everyone who plays this game?
Yeah.
And this is where, like I said, I question if they still play.
Exactly what I was just about to say. It is clear to every single person that plays this game.
Yeah. Yep. You would think.
Yep. So The Mandalorian, they're hoping will come next year. So probably after they're done with all this movie stuff, maybe when Mandalorian season 2 comes out. They normally
I'm gonna guess like fall.
Hopefully.
That's my guess for next year, fall.
They normally wait.
I'd like to see it sooner, but you're probably right.
They normally wait for a TV show to establish itself.
I'm only guessing fall because we have a ton. Well, I'm guessing a ton. We have episode 9 content to get through still.
Yeah.
So.
Well, maybe it'll be like solo content.
Oh, come on.
I loved the solo content they came out with. It's a little too complicated, but those are fun.
Fair enough. I will grant you that. But it was like, a month of marquees and then done. Like the dead fish got dropped in the room and they walked away, and that was it.
True.
Yeah.
They were never needed for anything. Yeah.
True.
It's fine.
There was a question about the arcade mythic raids from a data mine.
And
they answered it, saying that they were investigating or like thinking about using it, and now it's become the foundation for their new upcoming content system, whatever that means. Their goal for this new system is to provide more solo and guild content more quickly. You can see something later in 2020. So the arcade mythic raid stuff was like point based on characters you use or number of hits, a whole bunch of different variables that would have given you more points when completing a raid. So it sounds like that's going to go into some kind of new points based single player mode or world leadership or world leaderboard of a mini raid type thing. That's a lot of speculation based on that small comment, but they're going to use that somewhere, it sounds like.
Well,
interesting. Yeah.
And then hopefully next year, Mace Windu will get a rework. They said, because there's the new Clone Wars.
Year?
Yes. When the new Clone Wars TV show comes out, they might take another pass at Clone Wars stuff.
We just had a bunch of Clone Wars stuff. Why wouldn't you have reworked them then?
Not enough time to do him justice, they said.
Or job security for later on.
Yeah. Well,
or an additional gate for General Skywalker, because nobody had Kenobi 7-star negotiator. I mean,
yeah.
True.
There were a lot more. There was some fun stuff to read, but not too much.
But overall,
yeah, not too much on new features. But I still enjoyed reading it, as long as you filter through. I still enjoyed it.
Half of it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Okay, Next, tons of stuff happened these last 2 weeks.
I know.
We finally got the Grand Arena history they've been talking about adding to prevent cheating and to help you look at your past attacks or see what your enemies used against you, see how close your battles were, so that maybe you know this isn't working on defense, or every time I set this, it draws this counter out from the enemy. So this is a good one for me to set. What are you guys' thoughts?
So I did not realize it was to prevent or to counteract the cheating at first. When I first saw it, at first I was like, cool. And then I went and looked at it and I was like, oh, you're showing my exact defenses every time and what was used. And I don't like that because I like to be lazy and set my first round and just let it roll through the whole week.
You still can.
I still can, but now it's kind of like, hey, it's not a surprise, especially if you want to, like, if you love PvP content and you love Grand Arena, chances are you do your homework, right? Mm-hmm. So if you find my .gg profile, which is not that hard to find, you are going to see that, hey, she's setting and forgetting every single time, right? Like she sets the first one and lets it roll through most of the time. So chances are whatever she set from the first round will roll through if I'm facing her in the final, and I will know what to do, right?
So I'm relatively new to podcasting, but isn't this the kind of thing you wouldn't want to broadcast to hordes of people? That you just set your defense and leave it?
It's not a secret.
I'm not a professional by any means, but
like tons of people know I set and forget it. I always do that, but like now you can see what I set and forget, right? You can see what I hide in the back wall.
Well, if you care so much about PvP, you got to change it up.
I don't care about PvP. I care about PvE. This is why I love territory.
Then, yeah.
But I
there's
will
tons
say
of arguments for both sides.
I will say I do like that. I can see what they used. I will say I do like that feature. So
yeah, more data is never a bad thing. I'm a big fan of it. I'm not going to use it as much as like the crazy PvP people will.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think it's great that it's there. It's going to cut down on cheating.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody should be happy about this. I don't think there's two sides to it.
Agreed.
There's not really a downside.
Well, and like there's been times where I've thought somebody cheated against me and they didn't, and this will easily like tell you exactly whether or not they did.
Yeah. Well, and isn't this? I played Marvel Strike Force really briefly, but isn't there something equivalent in MSF?
There is. You can see it right away in MSF, and you can see
their Territory War version.
Their Territory War version is very different from Territory Wars, and not very, but slightly different. But you can see it right away.
But my point just being that the data has not killed that game.
No.
And
but it is.
This is all upside.
Yeah.
It is different in that game, the way that it's set up.
Fair.
The argument players make, one is a good point that Sarah made, where people can see your previous defenses.
Mm-hmm.
Two is that now people can see my secret counters that I use. Yeah. Like, if I'm the only player that knew about Treya being great against the Geos,
right?
Now it's going to spread like wildfire after somebody looks and sees how I did it.
Mm-hmm.
Fair.
I think it's going to create a lot of. Well, I mean, and I guess it'll depend on the player base you're facing, but I think we're going to see a lot of people either switching up their defenses, or getting more creative with their defenses.
Now, isn't that good for the game, though?
If you like PvP.
Isn't that creativity helpful for making it more fun and lively?
If you like PvP.
Yeah, which is what they should cater to for this mode. Not.
Well, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is I can still set it and forget it.
Yeah.
And you could add a whole other layer of subterfuge to this and set it and forget it except that last match.
Yeah.
And
really
just
shake things up.
Oh,
yeah.
that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I like
fantastic.
I knew I
love
liked you. I knew I liked you.
Aw.
I love
That's-
it.
that
I
is
love it.
So now
I-
that also points, but that's like you could be really paranoid like me with the hamster running in your brain and being like, what if this guy is tricking me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now you can see, now you can review your own history. So you can say, okay, it took me 2 or 3 matches. That was bad. Or now, even though you can see a team that somebody used to beat you, you still don't know how they did it. There's still decision making in which special they use, who they target. So it doesn't take away from people's strategies, even if you have a secret strategy.
Mm-hmm.
Revealing a team comp shouldn't mess it up.
It does show you though, like their health and protection bars though, right? And who survive. So that is very similar to MSF, to Marvel Strike Force, where in game it shows you who survived and like what their health bars were and everything. But it also is the same. It doesn't show you obviously like turn order or anything like that.
Yeah. It adds a lot of fun. Because, you know, if I set Darth Revan and somebody gets 59 points, I want to know, what did they use? And then I go see, wow, they beat it with these 4 characters at max protection. That's impressive.
Yeah. I think it'll teach a lot of people that are not sure about what is being what their squads are being beaten with and countered with. It's going to open a lot of people's eyes.
Yeah, because now you can actually say, every time I set this, somebody's either using this or this to beat it. So, or whenever I set this, now that I know that people tend to use this counter to it, if I set this in the wall zone behind it, they'll have given up their best counter. It helps.
Exactly.
I think it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Most importantly, it does help root out cheating, which if you go and check on Reddit, you get to see a lot of great detectives finding these players at the top of the leaderboard that are using Ezra lead with like
that's like the most obvious.
Yeah,
Ezra I've been enjoying that. Yeah,
Sith,
I did not know that.
Savage Oppress in order to beat preloaded Night Sisters.
Oh wow!
Yeah, or
Reddit must be on fire.
Max Protection, even though nobody.
It's Reddit. It's always on fire, but
it's fantastic.
That's amazing. Okay, that's cool. So yeah, it is helping that because now you're like fully seeing this log.
Or one particular player who makes it to the top of the leaderboard every time. You go back and look at his history. Every time he's had a real matchup, you know, he gets in the 1800s with scoring. But for most of the matches, he somehow has made a deal with his opponents to where they each set crap and end with 1954 points with 1-man squads to beat it in 2-man, 3-man, undermanned squads.
Maybe he's double
crossing. He's way up high.
Maybe he's double crossing him.
They both are setting these crap squads, like all Tuscans.
So I've heard though of people. I don't do this because I don't message my opponents because I don't do that. But I've heard of people messaging them and be like, "Hey, like I don't care about winning. What feats do you need to do?"
Yeah,
and just squads for them.
But to do that for 6 out of your 8, no, for 4 out of your past 6 opponents, something's sketchy there, and it undermines the system.
Yeah.
I'm kind of fascinated he's gotten that many responses because I message everybody. I whether I win or lose, I send out a, you know, hey, I was impressed by this, or you did really well here, or, you know, why be a jerk? And 2/3 of the time they will join the room, look at my always positive comment, and then not say anything and eventually leave.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I don't.
Okay.
Most of the people I talk to have been good, nice.
I will.
Likewise. And I have recruited good guildies for you, Sarah. So
you have.
Yeah.
I will join the room if someone creates a chat for me, but I will not create the chat.
Yeah.
And I will answer. I will answer it. I won't just read it and leave.
Anytime somebody loses to me, on a match, I usually message and say, "Hey, what'd you lose with?" Because I want to know why my defense worked.
Mhm.
But now I have no reason to message people because now
No,
I've
you
got
can
the
just
GAC
get it
history.
all. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah, I'm happy about that. This was going to be our That's No Moon, which is, I believe, when we delve deep into a topic, talking about it.
We went there.
I don't remember all the the stuff that Faye talks about. I don't know what I'm thinking about when he does. I don't remember what all the categories are.
Well, we still have the Bantha in the room.
Yeah, we still have Bantha in the room. And real briefly, the latest update that went out had a couple of little fixes, little improvements. Nothing big or drastic.
No.
Let's see. Couple new portraits.
I think the biggest thing was Grand Arena.
Yes, the currency that you get rewarded for each round is up.
Oh, so long overdue.
It is.
Yeah.
So now you get at least double the amount of championship tokens for beating an opponent, losing to an opponent, or winning an entire
which is
event,
good.
A single event.
I would argue the rewards are still significantly lower than they really ought to be, but this is a step in the right direction. I'll take it.
Agreed.
I'm happy.
Agreed.
Yeah. They're never going to give me what I want here, so I'll take this.
Agreed.
I 100% agree.
Also important to note, Grand Arena. Ships. Now if you go in undersquized, it'll actually benefit you. Before, if you didn't bring reinforcements in, it didn't affect your points. So you might as well bring max reinforcements just in case. Now you will actually get a bonus point for each reinforcement you don't put in there.
All right.
Cool.
That was helpful. They fixed General Skywalker where he was able to be critically hit when he comes out, or when he's the last man standing. Apparently there was a bug where Rex wasn't doing as much damage with his huge special in raids than he should have been. And
fives.
Yes.
That's the big one.
I don't think they mentioned that in the content update.
Because they haven't updated it.
Yeah, it was mentioned sometime recently though.
It was, and
somewhere in the blizzard of messages recently.
It was brought up in the Q&A.
I think it was the Q&A, yeah.
It is. So Rex, or not Rex, sorry, 5 still has to stay in the 5th slot for his ability, his revive ability to work properly. And in the Q&A, this was the funny part, was that they were like, "Oh yeah, it's just not a high priority fix for us."
Not a high priority.
What are you talking about? He's not working as intended. That is high priority.
It's the main arena
pretty
team
significantly,
right now.
no less.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. How can you not make that a priority?
Yeah.
But that said, I've got some great guildies who don't know how they got the information, but the way it works, the reason why he needs to be in the 5th slot, when an AoE happens, what it actually does is not damage everybody at one time. It'll go through whatever order you set your squad. Like you've got your leader in the 1st slot, then you've got 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. An AoE will damage your characters in that order. So you want Rex's, or you want 5s as the last one, so that the damage will hit Rex or Echo first, killing them before it ever gets to damaging 5s.
Right.
So that it'll trigger Savior.
Right.
Whereas if you put 5s as second, 5s will get hit by the AoE, killed.
Yes.
Then it'll kill Rex or Echo, but 5s is already gone.
Right. Okay. That makes sense when you know like the back end of it, but they still should fix that.
They should. Well, now that I know that, I actually like it because it adds more strategy.
Sure.
But maybe they should. I don't know how they'd fix it because
I don't know how they would fix it either, but you should fix it. But also, like, if you're gonna make an ability that does that, shouldn't you know how your game does damage in an AoE situation?
Yeah. Well,
right. And also, we're working on a fix. We're trying to figure out how to fix this, not it's a low priority, because it's not a low priority.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, very clearly.
Yeah, it's not. Because there are a lot of people who don't know that.
Right.
Still, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Even
just in our guild chat today, multiple people were surprised by that.
Exactly. They're like, wait a
In-game
minute.
veteran players.
That's why you gotta listen to the HNN podcast.
Oh, man.
That's where you get to hear this information.
Exactly. All right. Do you want to see if there's any live questions before we move on?
Sure. Live comments. We've got...
I think they're all just muttering to them. Oh, no, I saw a couple questions.
First Order wasn't working during the event. What do you think the First Order team will be now that the new 2 characters are released?
I'm going to guess Hux Lead, Sith Trooper, Matt.
Daring. Those first 2 were daring.
I know. Hux Lead, Sith Trooper, Matt, Fox, and either First Order officer or First Order stormtrooper.
I'm going to say that Kylo Ren Unmasked Lead will still be very good, and these new characters will be good under him. Because now with an assisting Sith Trooper getting turn meter from his assist, or Hux getting 25% turn meter on his basic, as well as when he does a crit, getting more turn meter, or his mass assist giving everybody turn meter from the critical hits they do on their basics. I think Hux could work great under a Kylo Ren Unmasked Lead. That's what I'm still going to test. Because you also don't get any protection regeneration from Hux Lead. It's really just about his dominance.
That's a good point.
And it's his unique that prevents bonus turn meter from gaining for the enemies. So you can still have that while putting him under somebody else's lead.
All right. I don't play with First Order, so I don't know these things.
I haven't in forever. So.
Then we've got people commenting about how the quest really add to the value of the Hyperdrive Bundle.
I don't think so.
And that's pretty much it. Just talking to each other about what we have to say.
All right. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Then our last headline. No, that was it.
That was it. Next one. Next section.
Bantha in the Room,
Woo!
which we've all been wanting to talk about.
I'm prepared.
Is the light side TB we actually got a chance to play. The first new content in 4 months since the last Geonosis TB. But this one just seems different than the Dark Side Geonosis TB.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. I feel like play is not quite the term. We got a chance to play implies that we got to do anything with it before we all died.
Hey, I went 1 out of 4 on my missions.
I went 1 out of 4. Well, I didn't, not on all of them, but I went 1 out of 4 on a couple of missions.
Ooh.
And felt like I was climbing Everest with those.
Yeah.
My Padme did okay. But then Jedi Knight Revan squashed. Like I tried.
Man.
I had all these theories beforehand. Like, Yoda lead with all these debuffs and tenacity up and stuff. Maybe my Zeta lead. No. Yoda one shot before he even takes a turn.
Yeah. We have a guildie, Voxen King, Sergi. He took in his Padme squad, I believe. And his Padme squad is fully relicked and they got wrecked. Just destroyed. Which is mind-boggling to me because that squad is that era. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
His Padme got wrecked.
And they're fully relicked. Like, yeah. So, yeah, when he told me he was like taking in his R7 Anakin and like all of these characters that they all have relics on them and they all got wrecked. So,
yeah, it's absurd.
Yeah.
Now, why do you think they made it so hard? And are there players that are having fun with this?
I think that they saw how fast guilds were advancing through the dark side GOTV and were like, no, it's not supposed to be that quick, and just turned up the difficulty level and the GP required.
Yeah.
Which I did math.
Yeah.
I did math, and we're gonna get into this math because like I wrote it down for you. I went through everything.
We'll get into it.
So I have a running theory about difficulty in the last year or so that I think you probably both heard from me offline here. But in addition to jumpstarting newer players, we're trying to slow down CG is trying to slow down the progression of endgame players. And this is an overly dramatic example, but that's what's going on here. We can't keep producing endgame content for a dwindling pool of players. We can't keep burning along at the pace we've been.
Right.
That's what this is. It's a way overdone example, but it's slowing things down while the new folks get to catch up a little bit.
It's like drastic.
I'm not happy about it. I'm furious about it because I'm also a PvE player, and my 5 minutes to clear one wave. Gosh, that was fun. But yeah,
I like you know this about you. You both know this. Steve will knows it more since we're in the same guild. I love territory battles. Like I get pumped for them. I love figuring out where we're gonna go, where we're gonna improve. I track our guild's progress to the star. Like I have a spreadsheet that tells me how far away we were from that star last time, where we're going to pick up a star. Like I track it. I love it. And literally with light side territory battles, it's been, our guild leader did it and I looked at it. He sent it to me and we went over it, and it literally was us figuring out where do we deploy our GP to maximize. Yeah. Like it wasn't even a question. Like literally it was, if we clear a wave, that's a bonus, but where are we just going to deploy? Like we're like, that's all that matters. We can't fill a single ship platoon at all. Like, so
no, it's sadistic.
And we're in our guild's 240 million GP. Like we're not lowballers here. Like,
right.
So
with very solid participation.
Yeah.
And we were going nowhere.
And the fact that we can't fill a ship platoon in phase 1 is massive.
Yeah.
Like not even
what scares me is not that this is some part of a plan to slow down endgame progression, but that this is a prelude to another way too hasty gate on power.
Yeah.
We just got the G12 finishers immediately followed by relics. People are still trying to relic up, primary teams, and we're going to have another gate come along of some kind. Yeah. That's what scares me. I have no evidence for that other than the fact that this seems to be CG's pattern.
Now, in the Q&A, I think they mentioned that within the next 3 months, they have no plans to increase relics or powers or whatnot. I think specifying 3 months is really annoying.
Yeah.
That's not enough time for us to feel like we're safe from a new power creep.
No.
Well, and they've also said, and there have been way too many updates lately, but there was something in the last couple of weeks saying that something was coming along to change our ability to progress, and it was incredibly vague.
Yeah, it was.
I'm not going to be able to find it in a timely fashion, but
they said something. Are you talking about territory battles specifically?
Yeah. Yes.
So they said that they want, and this goes into my math that I did that I can get into whenever you guys are ready. They said they want us, they value the theory crafters, Sergi, I'm talking to you, and the creative player base to creatively come up with squads to help us maneuver through and complete these missions properly. So basically, they want us to theory craft what squads to use to clear them.
Yes. Yeah, Oh, okay, continue. Sorry.
So maybe you want to say what you want to say before I go into my map.
I do have a lot of devil's advocate ideas where, you know, maybe there was good decision making. It's not just all evil, screw the player. So, like, Steve mentioned, making it last longer. That's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Because the dark side one already isn't too difficult to play, which makes it not as fun to achieve victory. Now that's just for us at the end, but that's who the newest content is for.
Right. This is and it's end game, like they've said.
Right. I also like the idea of it actually taking theory crafting, where you can make a video that is really revolutionary and gets 100,000 views because people haven't been able to beat the TB yet. That happens with raids trying to get high scores. With TB, you don't see many videos of, here's how to use this faction in TB.
Yeah.
Here's the strategy behind the win. Just because it's not needed as much.
Right.
Because it's always, if you gear your characters enough, you can beat it where we are in the game. But with this one, even if you have max characters, that doesn't equal victory.
No.
Not right now.
So, do you mind if I go into my map?
Go for it.
Okay. Because this really plays into them being like creative and theory craft your squads to beat this, okay?
Okay.
So for the purpose of my math and my argument, I'm only looking at phase 4 of this light side TB. And I'm only looking at the ship section because it's the easiest way for me to math, because a journalist doing math is a laughing joke, okay? So let's say, for argument's sake, we are all in the Whaley McWhalerson Guild, and we have the maximum ship GP because we are whales. So we have whaled. We got all the 7-star ships. All of our pilots are max. That means that our maximum ship GP that we can have, I got all of these numbers from .gg, so don't at me if they're wrong. The maximum ship GP right now that a player can have is 3,466,269 points. So for phase 4 ships, obviously no one saw this because they ended territory battle early with the whatchamacallit problems that they were having. The bugs.
Yeah.
So for phase 4 ships, theoretically, supposedly, to get 3 stars, you need 453,670,000 points. And your platoon bonuses that you get when you platoon your ships, per platoon, you get 333,333 points, which is a total, because we're in the Whaley Whalersons, we're going to fill all of them. We're going to get 1,999,998 points. Okay? Still following my math? I'm going to go over this all, I swear. There's only one combat mission in phase 4. The other one is a special mission for Get To, which doesn't matter. The combat mission, you're going to get 2,750,000 points when you complete it. We're all going to complete it because we're whales. So you're going to get 137,500,000 points from completing it. All 50 whales in this guild. So if you take the total number that you need, we're going to subtract our combat missions from it. That leaves you 316,170,000 points. You take away your platoon bonus, that leaves you 314,170,002 points. And then we're all going to deploy our ship, or our ship GP, which is going to leave us at 140,856,552 points short of hitting 3 stars, which is on average 2,817,131 points a player. So how am I supposed to theory craft and creatively create a squad that is going to get me an extra 2.8 million points to get to 3 stars? I have to almost double my fleet roster alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I know that no matter what ships they release in the next year, that will not happen.
Yeah. No. And like this number, when I was looking at it on .gg for the max ship GP, I was looking at all of the ships, and it's perfectly laid out. You can clearly tell like it is looking at max ship, max character levels. So you have to release at like, how many ships do we even have in game? 30, 40? If that? I'm going to say you need at least 20 more ships. With pilots. Like, you can't do this pilotless BS, because the pilotless ships are only worth 40,000 points.
It's going to be more than, it's going to be more than 20. Because
the highest ship was, according to .gg, the Ebon Hawk and the Millennium Falcon. So you need the pilots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's insane.
So
now,
I don't know.
Also playing devil advocate.
Yeah.
One way that at least me will be happy with not getting max stars, and can be really smart of them by making this content so difficult. We are frustrated with the HAAT because it's crap rewards and we can all beat it.
Mm-hmm.
We're frustrated with the Sith Raid because outside of top 10, rewards aren't worth it. And within a couple months, we were all able to beat it together, yet everybody out of top 10 got crap rewards.
Mm-hmm.
What would be smart of them to do, and might be happening here, is make it very difficult so that the best guilds can only get half of the stars, but make the rewards so good that even it getting only 14 or 15 stars of this new one, it's equivalent to 30 stars of the Dark Side TB. So you aren't upset, besides not being able to have as much fun playing it because you're getting zeros most of the time.
Right.
You won't be upset at half of your month, the TB giving you less stuff because it's light side and it's much harder, because you're actually getting the same amount at your strength level, but it leaves room so that you can get better in the future to unlock better rewards with the same content. Like,
but that begs into their economy BS that they said in the Q&A.
Right. So it'll depend on what they make as the rewards.
Yes.
If they had from the start made it to where, let's say the HAAT, or let's just say raids weren't about ranking, but it was about getting a point level. If they made it where if you get 2 million points, you get these okay rewards that you're happy with when the raid first comes out. But as time goes on and you're able to get greater damage, you unlock better rewards that scale to where, by today's standards, you're happy with your increased damage getting you increased rewards, where that's not happening. So now, even though you are soloing the HAAT, you're still getting the same rewards you got the first day it came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
Our rewards, the consolation rewards when they shut down the Light Side TB, I couldn't go back and look at what the reward tiers were. But I want to say they gave us like a 14 or 15 star reward box. It wasn't like a special, okay, let's type in these rewards to give them. They might have just given us this tier.
I think they gave us, I think it was, somebody was saying 20 star, but maybe it was 15.
It wasn't that high.
It was definitely at least 15, though. I think you're right.
Which I was happy with the reward box.
Well, yeah, because they screwed it up.
Well, no. Like
Yeah.
the rewards that were in it, if that was what we got at the end of the week, I would have been happy.
Yeah. But they gave that to all the guilds. Not everyone's going to get that.
Right. But for the in-game players right now, if we from 15 stars can get comparable rewards to 30 stars of Darkside Geonosis TB,
right,
then I look forward to it scaling in the future as we get better a year from now, the rewards actually being relevant once we get to 25 stars.
Yeah. And that's a really good point. And I like that idea, and I hope they're that forward thinking that this is all scalable to just keep things relevant. That doesn't change the fact that this was an incredibly unsatisfying, ridiculously disappointing experience. I love PvE. I have made time in my day, regardless of what's going on, to sit down and play through the first day of every TB.
Yeah.
It is a reward for me in the middle of a crappy day to get to sit down and do something like that. And wow, this sucked.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, we all are. We don't quite play in your at your level of things, Sergi, with your guild, but we are very solid. And getting on Discord and seeing everybody going, "Yep, 0 out of 4, 1 out of 4, maybe."
Yeah,
a couple of really strong players got 2 out of 4. Right. That's not fun. And when our leadership that we know they know what they're doing are theory crafting a strategy based on deployment and holding off deployments to not bump into the next territory yet.
Yeah, exactly. Which
How
is
this fun for any of us?
That's exactly what we were doing. Was we were specifically telling you where to deploy so that we would not unlock territories.
Right. Yeah. And I guess there's some satisfaction that we're that coordinated of a guild that we can play that strategy, but that's pretty slim.
Well, again, you're right. I agree with you, but it kind of is fun to have the top guild in the game actually use the not completing a zone feature, because I'd never had that happen before. Like with Hoth territory battle, I had no idea what was going to happen once we didn't get 1 star in a zone. Yeah.
Right. Fair. I think you can do both. If their goal was to have the ramp up, which again, I really love that idea, and man, I hope they're that together. You could have that ramp up while having it be playable content that we could enjoy on the way, and then have these crazy goals that we're not going to reach for
sure
3 years. But
for sure.
Yeah.
Yes. This level
between 2 end game accounts, I cleared 3 waves.
Yeah, like you could still have like the points needed to hit that star. You can't creatively make up that GP, right? Like you can clear the mission, sure, but you're not going to get an extra 140 million GP,
right?
Like out of thin air. So that's where the end game comes in.
Yeah, that's
Sergi is going to figure out a way for Cup to save us all and clear 4 waves, but that's still not going to get us there.
Yeah, because you're missing that actual, tangible. You know what I'm getting.
Thank you. Thank you for the extremely positive and uplifting math, by the way.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. I was really enthralled to do it, and I had heard people were saying you needed 6 million GP, ship GP alone to max out phase 4, and I'm happy to say that you're wrong. You don't need 6 million, you need 6,200,000 and some odd thousand.
Yeah. Those are important distinctions to make, because it's not just a matter of making it future proof. But when it's released, players need to have some amount of fun. Rewards aren't everything. So even if they were really smart, even if they made us happy with the rewards we can get right now, if we're just deploying to get stars, it's not fun.
Yeah. And like for me personally, like I was looking at it because obviously like our guild had to make the decision, which one are we going to do? Are we going to do Hoth again, or are we going to to stick with doing Geo because we're kind of in that weird cusp zone where we could go either way. And in my head, I was like, it doesn't really matter which way we go in terms of time management, because Hoth territory battles, we're all going to auto in 2 seconds. And Geo territory battle, we're just going to deploy. Mm-hmm. So it's the same amount of time either way.
Oh, speak for yourself. There's all kinds of, in Hoth, when it does not matter at all, there's all kinds of crazy teams you can throw in and just see how far you can get. How good are your Jawa?
Sure, but also, like, we know we're going to get it. Like, that also, if I see you get 1 out of 4 in phase 4, I'm going to shot that and post it and be like, what are you doing?
Playing on auto while I was going to sleep.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Don't know what happened. But, like...
But yeah, from a rewards perspective, clearly we're better off doing Geo. From a enjoyment level, I'm sticking with Hoth. I don't think they're comparable at all.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I am going to disagree with you. And I'm going to tell you we're doing Geo. Sorry.
I knew that we would be. Like, okay.
But,
And thank you. I've just been bossed around by my my assistant guild leader, or whatever your title actually is, on a live stream. Thank you. Thank you for that. A DM in Discord. That would have been way too easy.
This is just much better.
Clearly.
It is easier to do Hoth. I will agree with you. But I mean, resource-wise, I think resource-wise, Geo is the way to go.
I'm not actually arguing this. I wonder what the cutoff really is, where Hoth really does make more sense for a guild, but we're not anywhere near it. So
I think if we were getting if you are maxing Hoth territory battles, which is what, 45 stars?
Yeah.
30. Oh, Hoth. Never mind.
Hoth. If you're getting max on light side, I think that if you are getting, if you can get 10 stars in Geo, it's worth it. Maybe
Probably.
9. Yeah. Maybe 9 is worth it. But like, it's like that area, like 9-10 stars, is kind of like the teetering point between them, in my opinion. My not professional opinion.
Okay, so hey there, Holotable Heroes. We're going to be doing Geo.
Yeah.
My opinion is irrelevant. How you all know that?
Yeah, everyone should do Geo. The rewards will be better most of the way, even if you just deploy. I think the rewards will be better.
Yeah, no question.
And because it goes back to what I said earlier about when you're like a lower end player in a strong guild, because you're getting better rewards, you're going to gear up faster and level up faster, which is great because I need a Skywalker, please. And thank you.
Okay. So now this is our I Love You, I Know segment.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of things that can make us get jaded by this game, but there's a reason why we're still playing after 4 years. So each of us will talk about the things that we enjoyed over this past week or two of Galaxy of Heroes. Starting with you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Steve-O, what did you enjoy the last 2 weeks?
So can I ask a clarification?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Does this have to be in game, like within my game, or just something that I see other people doing that is really
anything that
entertaining
has to do with the game?
Awesome, cool. Okay, so on Reddit, there have been a few posts lately of people that are quitting, and when they quit, they are putting in a weak Wampa, a decent Visas, a decent Ewok Elder, a decent Hoth Han, and an old Daka.
Is that sending a message of like you need to revive the game? Or what?
Nope. That is being a hero and making the bounty hunter challenge with the Wampas a lot easier.
Exactly.
Because you can just kill Wampa all day there.
Yeah.
And what I love about this is that all the comments, there's strings of people saying, this is the way under every one of these.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And that has made me absurdly happy.
Yeah.
This is the way.
Nice.
That's a great way to quit the game.
Yeah. Not all heroes wear capes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But Vader does.
Yeah.
Vader.
Yeah,
Well,
fair.
he's a-
Well,
he's-
he's
Vader
my
is a hero
hero.
from a certain point of view.
He's my hero.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Okay. What
All
is
right.
yours, Sarah?
So I have two, one of which is very embarrassing, but I'll tell you anyway. So my first one is I finally switched to Negotiator in Fleet Arena, which has been a lot of fun. I still only have it at 6 stars, so I don't have that final reinforcement able to come in. But 9 times out of 10, I don't even get to my 3rd reinforcement anyway, so works for me. So that was fun. And Sergi, I'm only saying this because I feel like you will enjoy it. I finally fully soloed the HAAT raid.
Yeah. What team?
Yeah, I use. Oh man, I don't want to tell you because you're gonna.
You used Finn. Finn
I
was your
did.
hero. Finn.
I used Finn. But my problem before
Was
with
you
the
didn't have
HA.
Finn, but now Finn
No.
has made everything golden.
Oh. Well, I could never actually. So I could solo phase 2 to 4, no problem. It was phase 1 that was always the issue for me. But yeah, I finally did it. Once I got through phase 1, I was like,
Bravo.
oh, I'm golden. So
Bravo.
thank you. Just, yeah. What did you like?
Good job.
Thank
I like that you soloed the HAAT.
you.
I enjoyed in the last 2 weeks. Let's see. I enjoyed Grand Arena. I finally made Kyber.
Mhm.
This is the first time I've ever made Kyber. And it's because they, upped the round wins from 1,000 to 1,600.
Mhm.
None of that has gotten any mention. Is that a new, is that just for the ship one? Or is that going to stay like that going forward? Did you notice how each round of Grand Arena, if you win, you used to get 1,000 championship points? Towards
Yes,
your...
I did notice that, yeah.
This one was 1,600 for each win.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah. So that's why I think a lot more people got Kyber this time.
Right. That got talked about extensively among my hardcore PvP friends, but not in the wider world at all.
Okay, that's good to hear, at least. So, if they stay like that, it'll actually make it so you try to win more. Because before, you could lose a bunch and still hit Erodium, but you had to win all but maybe 2 to hit Kyber. But now you can lose a few of them, but still have it be close to where you're still struggling to try and reach Kyber. I liked it a lot better. So I liked hitting Kyber. I also enjoyed fine-tuning my Phase 3 and Phase 4 Night Sister solo of the Sith Raid. I was able to do it about 60 or 70% successfully before, but I think now I've figured out the key points where I can die and should have it more consistent now. I'll have a video soon. Over $70 million points. It's awesome. I was really excited.
Very nice.
I like it.
Sweet. Now, Discord corner. We had a couple questions, and we can take a couple more from the comments if people ask some. From Discord corner, Ski Trooper asked, can you discuss creative alternative Night Sister counters? Relics have made Imperial Troopers less reliable, and many of the teams that do beat them, Jedi Knight, Rev, and Padme, are needed for better things.
Sergi.
My favorite counter is Palpatine, still. And there's a trick that I use where you let the dots from Vader and the shock kill Night Sisters when they take their turn, and it won't trigger zombies revive because you aren't killing them. The debuffs are.
Oh.
You guys talk. I'll
That's
try
fun.
to find a video.
I didn't know what that That was a. I mean, I knew that was a counter, but I didn't realize that was why it countered.
That's why I do it. I don't think that's well known. I don't think other people orchestrate it to do that.
Yeah, I feel like that would be tricky to pull off, but yeah, that's an interesting idea. I personally still use my Imperial Troopers with a fast enough Stark and a decent enough team. I don't have a better answer, but clearly I'm not the theory crafter that either of you are. So
I still use Imperial Troopers. I found them to be much more reliable now that I've got my Range Trooper starred and geared out. So I will usually go Veers, Stark, Range, Snow. If they have Spirit, I'll throw in Shore just for added survivability. But usually it's Death Trooper. Otherwise, I will use my Treya still if I don't think I'm going to need her. Just because I find that nothing is as good as her. I know that CLS can do it, but it's kind of dicey with them. It's super I've done it a couple of times, but it's not. I'm surprised. I've never done it with Jedi Knight Revan, but I've only done it a couple of times with CLS, and it's not super reliable. It does work, but I find that it's very RNG dependent.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. I think it does depend slightly on the Night Sister lead. I'm surprised. And I know this has come up, I believe, on the podcast, but also on your Discord server. There was a really extensive conversation about this. Mm-hmm. I'm really surprised that I still see so many Mother Talzin leads.
Yeah, me too.
Because I was not a believer in this, and I finally had some very hardcore PvP guys sit me down and lecture me on exactly why it was stupid. And it turned out they were correct. So Talzin is just asking for IT to come in and wipe the floor with her.
Yeah, I have no issues when it's Talzin lead.
Yeah.
I don't see it very often. I don't see Talzin lead very often.
Talzin
I still see it more than I would expect
offense.
to, but
yes, on offense.
Absolutely, yeah. But the AI does not play her well, and
I will use Talzin lead on offense every day, but I won't. If I'm setting Night Sisters, it's a Saj for a leader. I will use. I know that Ski Trooper said Padme would be needed elsewhere, but I will use Padme just because they wreck through Night Sisters. I find that for me personally in Grand Arena, I find that Night Sisters are almost always in the front zone. I very rarely see them in the back. And for me, I need to get through them, obviously, because they're in the front. So if I have to use Padme or Treya to get through them, then I will.
Yeah, people put it in the front because you aren't sure if you want to use one of your best teams.
Exactly.
So you'll try and risk one of these soft counters and lose.
Yeah.
Yep. I also know that. I like to use Thrawn. So a fast Vader, but a fast Thrawn also. Switch with Tarkin. He'll do the AoE debuff and then remove turn meters. So that any Night Sister that hasn't gone yet, you can stop them. And I can usually get an ability block on Talzin before she'll get her Plague out there. Unless she's gotten to go before my Thrawn. I also like doing Hermit Yoda in there sometimes. Because he's pretty fast, won't get hit, so can't be stunned or reduce his turn meter at the start. Have him call your Palpatine, and you'll get extra shocks going and spread around quicker.
Mm-hmm.
And then I know that people have started using Fallen Bastilla with Palpatine. Your Darth Revan team on defense will still be very strong and hard to kill, even if you pull out Bastilla and replace her with another Sith Empire. But then you can use her with Palpatine to take down Night Sisters very easy, or to take down General Grievous. But I don't have good experience using that. But that's a counter.
Interesting.
Then Mink Quark Flight asked, who do you think the required 15 tunes will be for Galactic Legends? Did I say 15? I meant 30. And I think we talked about it a lot earlier.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think we covered that for the most part, unless y'all have any other additional comment.
I'm trying to think of other characters that they would release with the new movie. And I don't know if I can think of new ones that we have already met, that is.
Right.
Yeah. I could throw out speculation about new characters, but I don't. I feel like there's a lot of people deliberately insulating themselves from any information about this.
Right.
And I don't want to be a jerk. So.
Yeah.
True.
I'd say from the movies that have already come out, maybe we can get Old Man Luke.
Yeah.
Or nope, I don't know anybody else. Oh, no. They won't do a Praetorian Guard because those have been replaced with Sith Trooper.
But why wouldn't they just call it Praetorian Guard?
Don't know, got to see the movie.
Touche.
I have no idea what the Sith Trooper holds for the movie.
Are they releasing the movie in Canada or?
Yes, I'm going to see it in 1 week. I already have my tickets. Don't you worry.
One never knows.
Yeah, it's just, 9 days from now?
Yep.
Nice.
8, because I'm going on Thursday.
Me too.
Nice.
Yeah. I don't know who else they would release for that, so.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that probably at least 4 or 5 will be new characters that are required.
Yeah, that's so many.
That seems likely.
If it's a full 15.
And you think, if they make it 4 or 5 and then
release,
but I mean that could include ships.
It could.
And then it would be released right away. Yeah, which will make me really frustrated.
I'm still skeptical of that, but
maybe not.
I mean, we're all just guessing on this.
Right.
So
Yeah. I mean, and this is only like I said earlier, I only counted the tags for that specific faction. So for First Order and Resistance. So if they need other ones, maybe Kylo Ren's going to need Palpatine. Probably shouldn't have said that, but maybe.
Why? Why would that be weird if you needed EP?
Because some people aren't.
Because right now they have no.
We're not being jerks.
Of spoilers.
Yeah, and that's why we're not being jerks and talking about the Palpatine who's been in the game for forever.
The kit, the unique for Sith Trooper, it says Emperor something.
Yeah, so like maybe
They spoiled it.
Maybe he's needed, and then throw in the vets for Rey.
Yeah.
Maybe we're gonna get General Leia in game.
No.
If we can't have it in real life, we can have it in game.
Oh, sad.
Okay, this was a good show.
Mm-hmm.
Rank and file. I'm sure everything's the same. I haven't looked that up. Faye does.
I haven't looked at it. I'm sure it's all the same.
I'm sure it's the same.
We're gonna say it's the same.
Probably by next time we'll have some more General Skywalkers unlocked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think by next time we're gonna have more General Skywalker?
I'll have mine unlocked, hopefully.
Unlocked?
All I need is one more TB. Oh, no, not unlocked.
Unlocked or 7-star.
7-star.
Don't give me that heart attack because I'm not ready.
Sorry.
You and me both.
No.
I'm hoping for a Malik style like month late. That would make me very happy.
Yes, me too. I want some kind of head start for having gotten it the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And you deserve it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no argument.
So frustrating.
And me, I need 7.5 million Mark V stun guns before I'm ready. So
if only they had a really good bundle for sale.
It actually helped towards this.
Yeah.
This specific goal. Yeah.
I included some shard shop currency.
Yeah.
That's not going to get let go anytime soon, clearly. All right,
This is the hill I'm going to die on.
Well, this was a great show. Thanks for joining us.
Are we
we
doing anything on farming or?
Oh yeah, you forgot farming.
I did.
Yeah.
It's been 2.5 hours. I think it's already
No, fair.
almost going on our longest show.
Yeah, that's fine.
Well,
It's my
okay.
scintillating personality.
Yeah.
Real quick, who's
Yeah.
ever just skip the intro. Stevel, who you farming?
Uncle Owen's Moisture Farm. Go.
We're here.
I'm still working on Sith Fighter. I'm working on my Vulture. Still working on Range Trooper. I am working on Rose just because I haven't gotten there, and I'm sure she's eventually going to be needed for something. And yeah, I could use another month for General Skywalker because my Shock T is still 60 out of 100, and I cannot get drops to save my life on this guy. I'll go 1 out of 15 regularly.
That's disgusting.
Yeah. Yes, it is. That's the best possible word.
It's awful.
Ew.
But yeah, that's where I'm at.
I hear you.
Mm-hmm.
My singular focus right now is Arc Trooper. Not just getting him 7-star, but he's got to be relicked up. So this is just a hoarding game where I hoard everything and spend all my crystals on crappy gear just to get Arc Trooper up to relic 2 or 3, whatever it's going to take. I have General Skywalker at gear 11, 6-star now, 25 shards away. But because the special mission doesn't need him to get Ki-Adi-Mundi, and I want to help out my guild, I think I'm going to max out Arc Trooper with the gear instead of Skywalker first.
Okay.
So
really?
Yeah. Because I also want more Ki-Adi-Mundi than...
Yeah.
I want him as soon as possible. It's already going to be 6 months or something like that.
Yeah, it's going to be disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not.
We'll see. Because Arc Trooper needs a ton of annoying stuff. He's the reason why I'm really focused on the Mark IV Cheddak comm links. Because I think he needs 3. And I'm at like 30 shards.
I haven't looked at his gear list.
30 salvage or whatever. So it's going to take me probably 2,800 crystals. Which I'm out of crystals because I'm doing all these refreshes.
That's their plan.
Such crap. They have not eased my gear crunch at all. But yeah, so that's my entire focus for this whole month is just Arc Trooper, and then hopefully I'll get to Skywalker after him. Let's see. Chop mentioned how my Rebel Pathfinder needs some love. I've given him all the carbs I can.
Oh, no.
But now he needs more stun guns. I've actually taken him, even though it hasn't really made too much difference, it's helped a little bit. I've gotten him to gear 11. But I need to still get him and Bistan with a bunch of gear 12 pieces to be useful versus negotiators.
Not touching them.
And I just don't see that as a long-term useful investment, unfortunately.
It isn't.
So,
if you've done it before, great. But at this point,
Nope.
I know.
Hard pass.
Sorry, Chop.
But I'm still gonna... I know it's overdue and it won't be useful long. But for now, that's my plan B after I get Arc Trooper and Skywalker done.
No.
What about you, Sarah?
I am farming Arc Trooper still. I'm torn between getting him done quickly so that I can go back to relics, or taking my time and saving my crystals, because I will not be anywhere near being able to do the mission for shards anytime soon. So him, I'm still farming Rose and whatever that droid is on IG-86's node ship.
Oh yeah,
Vulture
droid.
Yep. And then everything else is going straight to gear. All of the gear, because everybody wants freaking MK4 Bacta gels and carbs and eyeballs and guns and. Yeah, it's just gear.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, but I did gear 13 my Asajj last week, 3 days ago, something ridiculous. So she's gear 13, she's relic, so she will hopefully be useful for General Skywalker. We'll see.
Sounds good.
That's it.
Okay, that was a good show.
Sorry, I'm done interrupting. You can do your out. And, yeah.
Thanks for joining us, Steve. It's great to have you on.
Thank you. Been a pleasure. Thank you both.
Thanks, everyone listening. That ought to do it. Until next time, we miss you, Faye. Chewie, we're home.